Hey guys, real quick before the start of this video, I wanted to let you know I was reviewing the footage that I took from yesterday and my face is not in focus for part of the time. I realize this, I just don't have time to review everything and go back and re-record it. We're going to be going out of town in a day and a half and I have to get some things done tomorrow before that happens, so just bear with me. I do have some really good information in this video on how to properly set up this BenQ with a screen in regards to the height difference, so again, just bear with me on that. And besides, you're not here to see me. You're here to see this beautiful projection setup from BenQ and Elite Screens. And thankfully, all that footage is in focus. So I appreciate you guys and enjoy the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the initial setup of the BenQ V7050i projector paired up with the Elite Screens Kestrel DarkUST floor rising projector screen. And with the way the Amazon white glove service has been going, hope this will help you out. So how long did you say this is going to take for you guys to set up?
2 hours.
Okay. 4 hours?
Yes.
She told me 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, welcome back to Life of Bliss. My name is Kyle, and like I mentioned, today we're going to be going over an initial setup of BenQ's newest UST projector, as well as a floor rising screen from Elite Screens. I'll be doing a full review on both of these products once I get back from vacation, but to give you a quick overview of the products, the V7050i is BenQ's newest true 4K UST DLP laser projector. It's extremely bright, rated at 2500 ANSI lumens, and has a 20,000 hour bulb rating. With HDR10 and 98% DCI color space, colors really pop with this projector. The Elite Screens Kestrel DarkUST floor rising screen is a 100-inch ceiling light rejecting screen that raises from a motorized base. The screen is held tight by a wire and tabs along the side of the screen, making the viewing surface wrinkle-free. With a touch of a button, you can raise the screen when it's movie time, and it will lower out of the way when you're done. The DarkUST material absorbs up to 95% of overhead light and gives some amazing contrast, even with all the lights on in my space. A full review is coming soon for both of these products. Now before we dig into the setup, and since most of you don't make it to the end of the video, I'll give you some good news first. If you guys are interested in the V7050i from BenQ, you can use the code LifeOfBliss V7050i at BenQ's website and save $350 off of your purchase. Now we can dig into the setup. Now as far as the setup goes, I'm going to be going over the 3 ways that I could see these products being integrated into the space. I'm going to be calling these the floor method, the book method, and the stand method. Now each of these are fairly simple to set up, but they each have their own pros and cons, which you will need to think about. But to be honest, BenQ makes setup super easy with their auto keystone feature, which I'll get into here in a moment. But first let's talk about planning where the projector is going to be going compared to your screen. Now this will take a little planning, but it is important to do to get the best results from your projector and screen. I'll be leaving a link to BenQ's projector calculator down below, which is a good tool to figure out your height difference needed between the projector and the screen, as well as how far away it needs to be from the wall. Now this may be a little boring and there is some math involved, but trust me, this is going to save you a ton of time and frustration down the road when it comes to setting this up, so bear with me. Looking at both the projector calculator and BenQ setup video, I was getting separate numbers when looking at how far away the projector needed to be below the screen. In the video, you see 15.8 inches to the base that the projector is setting on. Go to their calculator and put in the values for a 100-inch screen like the video, and I was getting 12 inches. I got this by subtracting the height measurement on the right, which appears to be from the top of the projector, from the height of the screen bottom. This 12-inch number didn't match up when measuring from either the top or bottom of the projector to the bottom of the screen. After doing a little tape measure work, I realized that the online tool was taking the measurement from the height of the lens. The lens is roughly 3.8 inches from the bottom of the projector, so when we add 3.8 to that 12 inches that the calculator gave us, we get the 15.8 inches that BenQ showed us in their setup video. And I hear you, why didn't you say 15.8 inches just like the BenQ video did? Well, this is going to come in handy for any other screen size than a 100-inch screen. For example, a 120-inch screen requires a lens to be 14.4 inches away, which means that the projector base should be 18.2 inches from the bottom of the projector screen after accounting for the height of the lens. See? I told you it'd be helpful. If you'd like an equation using the online tool, take the height of the bottom of the screen and subtract the height of the lens and then add 3.8 inches. This will give you the difference in height that the screen needs to be from the base that the projector is setting on. And like I mentioned, along with using the handy rulers on each side of the projector, the website will let you know the exact distance the front of the projector needs to be from the screen. Now on to the floor method. I'm calling this the floor method because, you guessed it, everything is sitting on the floor. This is a super quick and easy method, and you can get everything up and running in about 5 minutes. First, position the screen where you'd like it to go. Center the projector in front, and pull out the onboard measuring device. Now in this case, these are really only helpful in the sense that each side of the projector will be the same distance from the screen. You won't be able to go off the numbers because we won't be at the correct height difference between the screen and projector. After powering on, head to the menu and go to the installation options. You'll want to turn the test pattern on and make sure that the auto keystone is enabled. From here, you can move the projector forward or backward until the entire image is on the screen. You're not going to be able to get a full 100-inch image, again, due to the incorrect setup height for that screen size. I was able to get a slightly larger image by raising the front legs on the projector. You'll be losing out on some resolution by doing this, as keystoning reduces the amount of pixels used to square up that image. If you decide to go this route, I had the best results by keeping the auto keystone on until I had the image size that I wanted. Then I could go back and fine-tune the keystone if need be. I'll be honest though, BenQ did a fantastic job with this auto keystone on this projector. The image was either square or very close to it without any manual adjustment needed. After you get the image square on the screen, head to the motor focus option in the setup menu to fine-tune the image. You'll want to pay attention to the corners, as this is where I found most of the focus takes place. Once dialed in, you can choose your favorite picture mode and start watching. Now the next method I'm calling the book method, and this is where you raise the projector screen but leave the BenQ on the floor. And why am I calling this the book method? Because, well, everyone has books. And if you don't have books, you can use whatever else you have laying around. You could cut some dimensional lumber, you could use some Tupperware, whatever you'd like, as long as you like the looks. Our main goal is to get that projector screen up off the ground a little bit. Like I mentioned, I used a few books to set under the 2 large rubber pads on the underside of the screen. You'll want to find something that gets you within an inch or so of the recommended height of the screen so you can fine-tune things with the projector. Now it's going to be best to find something a little taller rather than shorter, because you can always use the legs on the underside of the projector to raise it up a little bit. Now the purpose of doing this is to be able to utilize the entire space of that screen with the projector after it's set to the right height. My situation wasn't perfect, but I was able to nearly fill the entire screen after it was raised roughly 4 inches. Now both of these methods are a quick and dirty setup that should get you up and running in about 5 minutes. They do have some drawbacks, including the reduced resolution as well as the picture size that may not completely fill the entire screen. And probably the biggest one is not being able to correctly use a surround sound system with your center channel. Your center channel would either need to be placed way in front of the projector, or behind the screen, and with this not being an acoustically transparent screen, your sound quality is going to suffer. Which, by the way, Elite Screens, if you could make an acoustically transparent screen with this DarkUST material, that would be awesome. It would solve a lot of issues with center channel placement. Something to think about. So probably the biggest drawback of those 2 methods are your sound quality is going to suffer. Now this is where the stand method comes in. It is a bit more involved than the other 2 methods, but it will help out with the sound quality of your system. So you can either do this one of 2 ways. You can either have some brackets that you can screw into your wall and let the screen set on those, or you can have a TV stand or console to set the screen on. Either way, you will need to calculate the distance that the bottom of the screen needs to be from the projector stand, which we talked about earlier, and get a corresponding stand for your projector. Now you could have a fixed wall-mounted screen and just use the TV stand to set the projector on, but I have a floor rising model, so this makes things a bit more interesting. After I adjusted my TV stand to hold both the 75-inch Samsung TV and the Kestrel screen, I grabbed one of the finest stools that we had that was roughly the correct height for the job. This actually was almost a near perfect setup, but using the same methods as above, I was able to use the test pattern and auto keystone to fill up almost 99% of the screen. When trying to set up the projector, it's important to get it as level as possible to give you a square image on the screen, so having something like one of these little levels is pretty handy to have in setup. And after a little more adjusting the feet on the projector itself, I was able to turn keystoning completely off and have almost a perfectly square image on the screen. Now, even though this method gives much better acoustics for surround systems, you still will have to lower that center channel below the projector, so your sound quality does suffer slightly, but not as much as the other two methods mentioned earlier. Now, you'll want to do that because you don't want that projector sitting directly in front of the center channel. And finding a stand that not only matches the height requirement, but your room decor might be a little difficult. To be honest, I'll probably go the DIY route here soon and make something that I can raise and lower a platform for the center channel without getting in the way of the center channel too much. Now, regardless of which setup you decide to do, I again have to commend BenQ on their auto keystone function. That performed really great and was really helpful when the setup was not ideal. I hope now you guys have a good idea on how to set up BenQ's V7050i projector with Elite screens, floor rising CLR screen. If you want the best image possible, be sure to spend a little bit of time calculating the correct distance between the bottom of the screen and where the projector is sitting. Again, BenQ does have that projector calculator online tool, but you will have to do a little math like we talked about above to get the true distance that you'll need. That will be helpful. A full review of both of these products will be coming soon, so be sure to check back for that. I will be leaving links to both the projector and the screen down in the description below. And remember, if you're wanting to save $350 off of this projector through the month of August, be sure to use the code LifeOfBliss V7050i at checkout at BenQ's website. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you soon. Try to move it.
Can you try to pick it up?
Move it.
No, I can't. This is hard. Come on. It's not working, Daddy.
So, how long did you say this is going to take for you to set up?
I don't know.
The delivery time said 1 hour.
Daddy, you're funny.